How's it going? Today I'm going to show you how to get all of the KALOS starters and how to shiny hunt them in Pokémon Legends ZA. This is going to be probably the most fastest methods as of now. Again, this might change in the future, but either way, let's get started with Froakie, then we'll do Chespin, and finally Fennekin. Also, just a bit of a heads up, I accidentally said about Fennekin that you get it in post-game. That's not true. You get it like towards the end of the game, but like the area where it unlocks, which is Wild Zone 18. So just a heads up. But now let's get right into Froakie. Basically, two methods for doing this, right? Now, first of all, you're going to have to head over to this location, which is Wild Zone 16 in the game. Now, I thought it was post-game because I'm confusing things, but apparently you should get it somewhere towards the later half of the story of the game. It should unlock. Similarly, if you're going to be going for Froakie, it's up, sorry, not Froakie, Fennekin, it's up here, and Chespin is down here. But specifically for Froakie, you're going to go right here, Wild Zone 16, and as you see, right on top of this thing, right up there on the pillar, that's where he is. There you see, you have regular Froakie just chilling. Now, like I said, two methods. Method number one, start from this gate right here and basically keep running until the Froakie despawns. As you can see, he's still up there and now he's gone, right? So right about here, as soon as you get to this like manhole cover, which has Greninja on it, right around there is where it should reset. You could also run a bit further away just in case, just to make sure like it's 100% guaranteed it's a new spawn. You can always do that. So that's the first method, run back and forth, and it should work. If you want to double check that it's working, you will see right now, boom, there's a different Froakie that just spawned. It's an alpha Froakie all of a sudden, which was not there before, and we can prove it because it's alpha right now, but if we run away over here, let's run just to this manhole cover, right here, boom. And I think now, yep, you see it's no longer on the top of the pillar. We go back, and right now, if it's no longer alpha, we know for a fact that the spawn has changed, which, let's see. There we go. It's no longer alpha. It's just a regular, everyday Froakie. Now, that's method number one. If you do not want to do that, if you don't want to be running back and forth, you could also just spam the flying animation, right? Now, this you do by flying to Wild Zone 5, because Wild Zone 5 lands you right in between these two. Like, it sort of, like, literally wedges you between them. So there is also a chance this way that you could get another shiny. You could get shiny Ampharos and stuff. But this way, if you keep doing it like this, you notice you can keep, like, basically just flying over and over again, right? Until he spawns in shiny. So you can just do that, just fly to Wild Zone 5, and of course keep in mind doing this, there is a chance you may spawn in like a shiny Medicham, Ampharos and whatnot as well, and if you do the other method you might get a shiny Phalanx. So just a heads up, you could technically also do the run, I guess, from right here, from this like this wall instead, all the way over to this side. However, I would not necessarily think it's the best. I think the other one is probably the best option from the front gate, but that's basically how you hunt for it. That's pretty straightforward. I don't think you really need to know anything else. That's how you go for Froakie. But like I said, the most likely and best option is just run back and forth over at the main gate, which you enter that gate or you find that gate as soon as you fly to the Wild Zone. You're going to land right in front of it, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find it. But that's basically how you go for a shiny Froakie. That's the easiest and probably fastest method, is just this one back and forth over and over again. And that's that. That's how you do Froakie. How to shiny hunt for Chespin in Pokémon Legends ZA. Now, there are a few different like versions and ways of doing this, but I'm going to show you two of them, right? So as you can see, Chespin spawns right here on specifically Wild Zone 17, and there are a few different ways of doing this, right? Number one is you can literally just keep flying in and out of this zone over and over again until a shiny one spawns in. Now, you have to understand, Chespin spawns underground, right? Like, it will spawn in one of these like manhole covers like this. What am I saying, manhole covers? Like, literally just a hole, okay? As you can see, I actually got two spawns now, but there are several times where I've done this where I get literally not a single one of them spawning in. However, basically, they will spawn in during night and day. I did try that. I did find them at daytime as well, though some people have said only at nighttime, which I don't think is true. But I would say there are basically three ways of doing this, right? Number one, keep flying into this zone, like fly over and over into Wild Zone 17, because luckily, if we exit the gate here, you'll see that you have two of those Chespins and a Diggersby. If we fly back in to the zone, luckily, it puts you right at the front gate, right? It's like you're right at the front gate, which is perfect because then you don't have to do a long run to get here to be able to enter and double check if there's, first of all, a shiny, and second of all, if there even is a Chespin. As you can see, there's not a single, Chespin that has spawned. So yeah, then we just do the same thing over again. We go out and we go into our map and we do the fly method one more time. Now, that's option number one. However, you still have two more methods for shiny hunting this thing, which require different kinds of, work. Now, as you can see, again, we flew in, the spawns have been reset, right? We're going to run in, check if there's a Chespin, and also check the levels of the Pokemon that are here. This, again, a Diggersby, and another Diggersby. So we checked them, level 44 female, level 46 male, and a level 45 male. Now we're going to run out of here, and we're going to do the second method, which is the one where you can run away. So you can run to the left or to the right here. It doesn't really matter. It just depends on which way you want to run, but you can run over here. And if you run up to the train station, like right around the train station up here, that will be enough of a distance, because you can see they can still be seen in the distance. And as long as they can be seen, and as long as they're trying to close up to us, they will not respawn and they will not despawn. So this is one direction you can run, and you can run back, and hopefully they'll be despawned now. So this is one direction, as you can see. Boom, we go in, and yep, they have despawned. They're back in their little holes. Again, we check if there's a Chespin. There is a Chespin this time. See, boom. Now there's a Chespin here. So that's one method. You can just run over to the, train station over there and back and forth. Now the third one and the last method is, of course, using these benches. And that is specifically if you have a controller that has turbo mode on to do the AFK method. Now the AFK method just requires you basically to have a controller that can, more or less, you just pull down the down button next to a bench, or literally in front of a bench, pull it down like just, I don't know, with a paper clip or some like literally like this. I used like the actual thing you use for the Switch 2 controllers, like this. I just tied it around, and then I did that. Right now it's pulling the actual cord is like pulling it down the entire time. And the second thing is you need a controller that has turbo mode, right? Which you activate if you're using the Gully kit. You just press the settings button and then A, do that 2 times, and then it's gonna spam the A button over and over again to make you go to like change from day to night, right? So that's the third way of doing it. I would say out of these three, I think the actual running method is by far the fastest, because running over here back and forth, it's also the one that's gonna keep like you most active, and it's gonna make you like look at way less, let's say, way less loading screens. All right. But as you can see, this one can be a little bit annoying. So sometimes you may need to actually run in the opposite direction, like all the way to the left side, because there is a bridge over there, which also around that area is despawns. So as you can see, they've despawned now. But another despawn you can do is if you run all the way to the left side up to like this tree over here, right? Like that tree. So you can run there and that will despawn them as well. But that pretty much should explain it. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. If you go inside now, there might not be a single Chespin spawned in. As you can see, no, it's just Diggersby, 3 Diggersby, so there's no guaranteed Chespin this time. So yeah, this is by far the hardest of the 3 KALOS starters to hunt for. Legitimately the hardest because of the fact that it doesn't always spawn. So it's probably gonna be the hardest one, the one that takes the longest amount of time to do. However, like I said, you could just do this, just fly in and out over and over again if you don't want to do the running, because sometimes just like doing the flying is probably the fastest. I'm not even gonna lie. Like there you go, we just did it, and now we can just go in again and check. So yeah, that's the method. Hopefully it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. First things first, you're gonna have to find yourself on this rooftop, which is in area, wild area 18. This is where we are on the map. I'm gonna zoom it out so you can see we are right at this rooftop up here. To reach it, you're gonna have to climb up some of the scaffolding on the side here. As you can see, you're gonna have to enter from like down there. Like at the bottom, you enter from there, and then you have to climb up the scaffolding to get up here. So just an FYI. Now, the thing is, where is Fennekin? Well, Fennekin only spawns on the other side right here, where we're looking at right now. Now, for some reason, I literally do not see it right now. Sometimes it doesn't properly spawn in, which is really weird. But it is by far one of the most annoying. There it is. You just saw Fennekin right there. Sometimes you have to go through the gate to actually see it. Sometimes you don't. It's a bit frustrating. The most important thing is that you actually do see it before we switch the day-night cycle. So here's the thing. Some of the hunts you can do in this game, you can do the runaway method, right? Where you see the Pokemon, like the way we see it right now, and you're able to just run away like we just did, and it despawns, right? That's one of the ways you can do it. However, for whatever reason, that does not work with Fennekin. I've even tried it on the other side over there. It does not work. So how do we get this Fennekin to respawn and be potentially a new Pokemon and a shiny? Well, this doesn't work, just running away and letting it despawn like this. That's the same Fennekin. However, you can use the benches, right? You guys already know the bench method, and if you do not know, basically you use benches to reset the spawns in the area, because that's what it does. Now, also an FYI, if you're hunting Fennekin, there is a chance you might, by accident, get a shiny Noibat or Swablu, or even Altaria and Noivern, because they also spawn right down here, and their spawns are also affected by you changing time and day. But If you want to get Fennekin, like I said, the best method is using this bench, right? Because if you use the bench, it basically reloads you from like through day and night, right? And it resets the spawn. So to prove how this, functions, we can run over here really quickly just to check what this Fennekin is, because basically the best way to know if this is actually working is to check the level difference between a Fennekin on, that you do during the daytime and then when you switch to nighttime or whatever. So this one's level 25 male. Now if we run away and we just reset the, game from day to night, you'll see that it's going to change, level and everything, specifically because it's literally a new spawn. Now, this is the method that I was shown and that people told me and that was shared on Twitter to seemingly be the best one. I have a few viewers who also suggested some options, but again, for some reason, there's no way to despawn this Fennekin properly and then just be able to see if it's shiny. It doesn't seem to work the way it works with some of the other ones. So I mean, it's a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but basically, yeah, so long as we are basically just spamming the days over and over again, that seems to be like the best way to do it. So as you guys saw, we saw what level the last one was, like it was like 25 or something, male. Now if we look over here, it's now daytime, and I think we can use this and we'll see there's a Fennekin there again. We can run over really quickly, just double check if it is a not if it's shiny, but just to double check if its gender and or level have changed. It could still be a male one, doesn't really matter, but it could be, there it is, level 20 now. See, it's no longer like 25 or whatever it was, but we checked it before. So it's a new Fennekin, and every time you reroll it like this, it has a chance of being a shiny. So basically, the way to hunt it, currently the best method, I've tried a few other ways, like, kind of seeing it spawn in from here, like from this position, and then trying to run a bit further away. And I even tried it from the other side over there, like on that side, and it just doesn't seem to work. Unless there's some way to do it, specifically, I think inside of the wild zone, potentially, like inside of there, but it seems really, really difficult to pull off. Like, I haven't found any sort of way to do it as of yet, because if you're inside of wild zone 18, it will automatically always basically be there. But yeah, so far I haven't seen any better methods. Maybe potentially you could go on the ground floor down here and stand on like the edges of the ground there, and hopefully it might spawn in that way. But as of right now, I haven't found a better method, or I haven't heard anybody share a better method. So this is how you do it. Just a big shout out to Hero over on Twitter, who I think originally shared this. So that is pretty much how you get shiny Fennekin, or how you hunt it in this game. That's how you do that one.